Hello, happy 5th anniversary, everyone. How are you? It is so good to be able to share this day with you. I even dressed up just a little to celebrate the day. So, hello, 5 years. That really, I still remember to this day. I'm putting thread on my sewing machine while I talk to you. But I remember first telling Mark in probably November of 2017, I said, I'm thinking about doing a little YouTube channel, you know, teaching quilting. And what do you think? He was like, what? And I said, well, I'm teaching classes at the shop, but that's it's just not enough people taking classes to be worth my while. And I just want to connect with other people. I miss Michelle being here and sewing with me every week. And so I was just thinking I wanted to reach out and maybe I could teach quilting in a way that might help certain people that, couldn't get out or get nervous about taking classes. So that's kind of how it started. And he was like, are you sure you're really going to do this? And I said, I really think I'm going to do this. So for Christmas that year, I got a camera that I'm still using. And I got a camera and we started playing with how are we going to do this? I had to get the room set up for it. And it's been a ride. And as I tell people now, I haven't set the world on fire, but gosh, I'm having a wonderful time doing it. And the people I've met along the way are so wonderful. So I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for going on a ride with me for this dream. And it's a lot of fun. I'm going to keep going. Oh, somebody just came in the room. Oh, there you are. No, I get confused. What
5 years.
And this man right here has made it happen because without his expertise and patience, he even went and got all the balloons for today and helped me decorate. He's been there every step of the way. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Y'all have a great
Mark.
show.
So, thank you so much. And I was supposed to have this decoration ready, but it's a lot of work to kind of separate all the layers. I have a feeling it's the most bought decoration that never gets used. Oh, well, the important things I have up. Nadine's quilt she made for our first anniversary. Can you believe it? And then I have something Miss Bonnie made for me down there. And we have our Ukrainian flag because I want to say the Ukraine, we had no idea that a year later you'd still be going through this invasion, this horrible invasion that should never have happened, ever. So, thank you. 5 years. And I tell you what, we really are a good team. And the funniest thing is, none of us could have imagined the pandemic. None of us could have. But here we are. I can't quite get the camera right. Let me see. All right. I set it for up here, then I lean back and it's wrong. But anyway, gosh, I can't imagine going through the pandemic and then my health issues without you. I was thinking, I saw Alex Anderson. Does everybody know that Friday she put an update on her health? We got to see her almost 3 weeks, be 3 weeks tomorrow, that said she's had her double mastectomy. And she looked really good. And so make sure, go to the quiltshow.com and then go to live. And under live, you'll find her health update. So she's not sure yet when she's going to be back, but she's progressing. And right now, she said the reconstructive part is painful. So, all the little saline bags that have to be inflated each week, that's not fun. But all of her lymph nodes came back with no cancer. So, and she's going to wait. There's a third of a chance she may have to have some chemo. And then I want to put out a shout out to Jeremy Raskin, a most amazing congressperson from Maryland, from where I used to live. And he's going through cancer treatment, lymphoma, I do believe. And the neatest story, he loves the E Street Band and, oh gosh, the boss. What's the boss's real name? It just went whoop out of my head. And Stephen Van Zandt from the E Street Band sent him bandanas because he's losing his hair due to chemo. I got so touched by it. I was crying because you know what? Wow, how amazing that when people get in trouble, people just rally around them and lift them up. So it's all good stuff. Our own Jody's going to start her radiation this week, 15 days, I think, of radiation. We're going to be right here for her through this. I want to thank Cheryl Hogan, who sent her some shirting fabrics. And I've got a picture. She's taken your fabrics and turned them into blocks for her 2 quilts, her 19th century 9-patch and her shirtings quilt. So y'all are so sweet. Hi, Pat Fry. It's a beautiful day in Salem. Do you know, I was looking at the weather forecast. By Thursday here in North Carolina, it's going to be 79 degrees. What is that about? I mean, it's February. So anyway, but I've got a lot of fun things to talk about today. I was hoping to have my exploding heart quilt done. Well, I've got all the rows sewn. I just now need to put the last 3 rows on and then put the inner border and the outer border. So I will get to it. I have been a little busy, but I've got my Juki back down here, and I'm hoping that my Juki that I had problems with, it's upstairs. I'm hoping it's going to do good. He had to put in a new bobbin case, and those things are expensive for a little piece of plastic. But anyway, we're hoping. We're crossing our fingers. I want to let Turkey and all of its citizens in Syria know that we're thinking of them. The miracles that have come out of the Turkey rescues are amazing. I mean, honestly, it's amazing. 9 days, some people, made it through. So, but our hearts are with you. So many people are homeless because of the devastation. And if you want to see something interesting, go on a news thing or Google and type in olive grove that separated in Turkey. The 7.9 earthquake was so tremendously strong and dangerous. It opened up a chasm in an olive grove. And that will show you the power of an earthquake. It is amazing and very sad. I mean, whoever owns that land now, it's a mess. And one of the teenage boys said it was so shocking. They just all started crying when they first saw it, because you don't expect a chasm bigger than football fields in your grove, what used to be flat farmland. So, all right, let me get my glasses on, and I want to see who's here to celebrate with us today. And 5 years, can you believe it? Oh, and I just wanted to tell you really quickly. I thought it was February 18th that I put up my first video to create the YouTube channel, Our Time to Quilt. It was February 16th. So Thursday night when we had our Art Quilt Thursday, our landscape class, that was the actual 5th anniversary. So, and for fun, I'm going to show you a little bit of that very first video because I think you'll get a kick out of it. I was just a wee bit nervous and not sure how I would be accepted. And so I'll show you that in a few minutes. But let's see who is here. All right. I'm so tickled to have you share this day with me. So Laura's here, Jody. In fact, we have, as I call out your names, I am going to, I printed names out of people that are more likely to be here. And because we're going to have a gift certificate drawing at the end of today's show. And so you have to be here to win. But I printed out a bunch of names. And if someone comes in later, make sure that they get my attention with all capital letters so I can write their name in for the drawing. So I'm just so excited. And let's see. All right, I'm trying to get these laid out so I can have, as I call your name, I'll put you in the pile to be drawn from. All righty, let me grab, I want to grab a good size bag that we'll do our drawing from. All right. So if you're here and you haven't said anything but you want to get a chance to win a gift certificate, quickly say hi so I'll know you're here. All right. So Jody is here. Yes, I have Jody's name. There's Miss Jody. And Laura, you are first person here. Fantastic. And then Kathy Klein, that's one I hadn't written down. I was trying very hard to remember, but this little brain gets a little tired some days. Okay, so that was Kathy Klein. Ah, great. Okay. And then I know I saw Pat. Patricia Fry. So saw Pat from Salem, Virginia. Okay. And Tina, I did type Tina's name. She's been so good at coming on. Our new Tina. Love that girl. Melton, got your name too. Hi, sweetheart. And Sonia. Yay. Sonia is one of the people that came on really early. And I was thinking about our Bonnie today too, because she was here, I think, from the beginning. I mean, she was amazing, very early on. Marcia is here. In fact, Marcia, I meant to write you the other night when I didn't see you. So, Marcia, we're going to make sure to keep up. I'm going to try to do better in keeping up with you because you're so sweet. And I want to make sure that we take good care of. Oh, you're slowly recovering? I didn't know you were sick, sweetheart. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Melton, who's from Turkey, has said that she's going to grow things, do things to help the victims. That is wonderful. Debbie is here, got her name. Oh, this is so great to see all of you. Barbara Smith, I've got her name. Where is Barbara Smith? Yep. So, I got Debbie and Barbara. I want to make sure I get everyone's name because you're so wonderful and so special to me. Cheryl Hogan, Got her name now, right there. And I don't want to miss anyone. All right. Bruce Springsteen. That's it. Thank you. Last night when I was reading the story to Mark, I was like, what's his name again? And I love him. He's so cool. Okay, we got Crafty Pat. Oh, this is so good to see all of you. Becca Bradley, I've got your name, honey. And oh, you lost your mojo. Becky, too, if you want, hon, to... Okay, if Becca wants to join our group's IO, I want to give her, we're up to 92 members, and just send me an email at OurTimeToQuilt@twc.com. All right. So, because I noticed Becca was really chatting and it was wonderful, and I thought, I didn't say hi to Becca, I don't think. So, okay. Now, if anyone else comes in, y'all give me a shout out. And we have a group's IO. In fact, our newest members are Lisa A and Diana. I call her Diana S because Diana's Sewing Adventures. And Robin is one of our new members. I'm trying to think who else, but it's wonderful to see you. And if by any chance our Michelle Lang comes in, make sure to give me a holler. Robin, yes, I've got Robin here. Miss Robin from Ontario, which is the province that Mark was born in, although he was born further south. And in fact, do you know that where he was born in Ontario is farther south than Detroit, Michigan? Yes, you'd have to look up on a map. It's amazing. So, okay, Crafty Pat found a little bit of mojo. I'm sure it helped after your son came up and helped set up your house. So, so many things to talk about. Where do I turn first? If Lisa A comes on, Charlene Piper, let me get her in. Yay. Okay, because we're going to do a drawing at the end of the show for gift certificates. So, Charlene. I thought, you know what? I'm going to do gift certificates. And if you win, you get a choice between Pineapple Fabrics, Missouri Star Quilt Company, unless you can think of another one that you really like, because I know they do beautifully with gift certificates. So Dolores Fagan, I got Dolores, put her in. So this is good. I want to keep track of everybody that comes in. So, but we've had about 5 new members in the last, I think, 2 weeks of our group's IO. And it's really nice. And I finally got back with Tina. I think it was Tina that wanted to know how to put pictures in, or was it? No, it might have been somebody else. But when all of y'all come in so fast, it's like, whoa, okay, I need to remember all these names. So today, let me get my agenda out, because I made an agenda. I said, if I don't today, I'll get off track and get excited. But see, that's my agenda. All right, so our hearts are with Turkey and Syria. Whew, I tell you what. And then we're thinking of every Ukrainian that has been wrongly invaded by Russia. And who of us thought a year later it would still be going on? So our Ukrainian flag that's been up since the beginning, I have a big one on my front porch that's so faded. Who thought this would be still going on? So, and then don't forget our anniversary quilt that Miss Nadine made us for our first anniversary. That's so special. So I had to put that up, and we got some balloons, and we're ready to have some fun. All right. I told you about Alex Anderson gives a health update. Okay. And let me see. Hold on one moment. I'm going to give you the link so that it's even easier to watch our dear Alex talk about her health issues. I'm so proud of her. She's really taken on the role of demystifying breast cancer, just like our Jody is, of telling people the copy. All right, now let me come back to you. Explaining to people what to expect and what can happen, and bless her, bless her. Can you turn on the subtitle feature? Where? I don't know what the subtitle feature is. Let me see. I would love to do that. Community moderation participants. I don't know. Does anyone know how to help me figure out? Oh, and I don't mention this because I get so busy talking and having fun. But if you subscribe to us and click on the bell, you'll get notifications of when we're going to be on. And honestly, the more likes I get, the more often they'll feature my video, so more people can find us. So I love y'all, but you know what? If I'm going to work this hard, it'd be nice to have even more people be able to see it. So anyway, pardon me messing with this. Blouse has these little hanger loops, so they keep wanting to sneak out. But anyway, okay. So now I put that on there. Let me come on, hit enter. There we go. There is the link to Alex Anderson. All right. I wish I knew. Melton, I wish I spoke your language. I wonder. Oh. You know, a woman in France said that too, that they were stopping doing the translations. I don't think it's something I did. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. No. I think it's YouTube that did this. The CC is not on. I don't think I've done that, but let me see. I'm looking for every little place where I have options. I don't know if that did the trick or not. This is very important to me, so I'll try to ask around and see what we can do. Because we had a wonderful viewer in France, and she depended on the translation that they stopped doing. All right, I'm sorry, sweetie, but I will see if I can find anything. What does this thing do? I don't know. Sorry, sweetheart. Oh, I would do anything for you to be able to understand. Okay, now, and if anyone knew, oh, hello, Skylove Office, LOLTV. How are you? Okay, so I don't know how to turn on the CC. So, don't know. Okay, I'll keep checking. Now, Then let's take a moment because we've got, I'm going to show you how to make a kaleidoscope block. We've got our block of the week that Lisa is zooming through. If she comes on here, I need to tell her she asked for the newest pattern. And I said, I haven't tested to see if the templates are accurate, and they're not. So I need to tell her the templates are not accurate, but I will fix that before next week. So Jim says he hasn't been able. Oh, yeah, I think they stopped it. Maybe if people wrote to them, we could figure this out and say, we want the CC on it. Oh, yes, because you know what? That's important. Y'all are, every one of you is so important to me. So now let's go see what my very first show was like. And it's okay if you laugh. That's absolutely fine. All right, I'm going to bring this down and turn it. Okay. Now, and let me get my speaker put in so you can hear it too. And I thought I had this up to the right thing, but I think my IT man thought, what is she doing with this on here? All right. Turn this way. Okay. All right. I think, whoops. Turn it around. All right. Now let me come back and make sure you're still there.
Power on. Your device is connected.
Okay. Now I've got to go way down to the bottom of the list. I've only done a few hundred videos and live streams. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, oh gosh, I was just a wee bit nervous, huh? But what fun. And who I had no idea. I hadn't thought ahead to know that I would still be here in 5 years. And maybe I thought I was going to be famous. I don't know. But it has been
Power
a
off.
great, great ride. So, anyway, let me come back to y'all now. That was, oh, you could not hear? Oh, okay. I apologize. I had the, I don't know why you couldn't hear because I had the speaker, but I'm sorry. If you couldn't hear, oh, poo. Okay. I think when I plugged in the speaker, it messed things up. If you want to hear me, go back and watch. Go back to my channel, look under videos and go all the way to the bottom. And it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. But now I'm so much more relaxed. It's like now you get to see the real Deb. Because I don't stand on ceremony. Heck, there's too much fun to be having. So anyway, Betty Middleton. Let me put Betty's name in. Yay. Hi, Miss Betty. Miss Betty's been here a while too. That is wonderful. Let me see. Is there anybody else that just came in? It's so funny. I was so subdued. I was going to try to be sophisticated. That's not who I am. So anyway, but now 5 years later, it's like, oh, maybe she should be a little more sophisticated. Is that you don't need to see my bazooms. So anyway, okay. So now I just showed you a brief, go back and check it. It's good for a laugh. My exploding heart, as I told you, I've done all the rows. I just need to put them together and finish the 2 borders. I hope to have it by next weekend. Then now here is the number 3 block of our nod to the 19th century. And you wait till you see Lisa's block. It is so cute. Have you done the prize yet? No. I will do the prize at the end after we finished our show and tell. And that way I give everybody a chance to come in and say hi. This is this week's, the 3rd block of our block of the week. The nod to the 19th century. And guess what? Remember last week we did the 2nd block had a few flying geese. Well, now this is all flying geese. And so you've got a few decisions to make. Normally, last week I showed you how to make 4 flying geese at one time. The only problem is if you want the block to be creative like this and to just have a bunch of different fabrics, you can't make the 4 at a time flying geese because they'll all be the same. So, but now that might be okay. Diana's Sewing Adventure. Hi, sweetie. Let me put your name. We're going to have 2 drawings at the end of the show for gift certificates to your favorite store. And if they're a big name, like Missouri Star and Pineapple Fabric. So, and you know what I just thought of? I hope y'all won't mind, but I'm going to, even if Michelle Lang doesn't pop by, I'm going to put her name in because she is the reason I wanted to start this way back 5 years ago. I dedicated that first show to her. All right. So now I'll keep these other names here just in case they come in Yay. Ah, Anna Cochran. Hello, Anna Cochran. And all right. Now, and I will make sure if someone wins and I don't have your email address, I'll make sure to give you my email address again so that we can get in touch with each other. Oh, there's our Carol. There is our Carol. Polly, did I put in? Oh, Polly, I'm so sorry. I have it right here. I just hadn't put it in the bag yet. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you, thank you. I want everybody. SJ. I've got SJ's name too. Okay. And all right, I put in SJ and then Carol's name. Oh, yes, got to put Miss Carol. Haven't y'all been enjoying her artwork? Oh, and wait till you see one of our new members' art. She does actual paintings, and it's like reminds me of Dolores, who does some good painting too. Thank you very much. 5 years. So what I'm going to do right now, I showed you last week, I showed you how to do the 4 flying geese at one time. This week, what I'm going to do is to show you how to just do one at a time. And that way, if you want to have a very scrappy block, since you've got to make, 8 flying geese. So, and what I'm doing right now is I'm going to just press these blocks in half. And make sure I've got them pressed good. And then I'm going to show you, this is the old-fashioned way. Well, it's probably not the oldest old-fashioned way, because back in the dark ages, when I learned how to quilt, everything was done with templates. So you would have had templates to cut a rectangle, and then you would have had templates for the little triangles that go in the corners. And then someone said, well, instead of doing that, what if you just put a square of fabric on it? So let me get you to come down here to the sewing machine, which I just realized, oops, I don't want to lose you. Okay. Oops. All right, hold on 1 second. I had to loosen. Oh, don't do that, Deb. Okay. I had to loosen this. And let me get a little piece of tape. Oh, but when you watched the first show, I was talking about my countertop that had a whole bunch of fabric on it. And I thought, oh, well, that hasn't changed at all. So I still have room cleaning on the top of my list. All right, now why is this here? Okay, here we go. So what I'm going to do is I take this rectangle. Whoops, that's right. I have to put a needle in the machine. Let me grab my tote that has all my supplies in it. All right. All right. Let me get, in fact, Joanne Fabrics. Is everybody hopefully can still hear me? Joanne Fabrics has a sale right now, doorbuster, I think through Monday. And so I went and got some more needles, more thread, and more fray check. And I'll show you that when it comes in. Oh, hold on. I'm coming. Huh. I can't find my little screwdriver, and I need to put a new needle in here. Let me look for it. It used to be right in this thing, but I think I've made a mess lately. This is when you know that you need to take a moment to clean out all your stuff. You were hopping. Oh, yeah. And you know what? They have a good amount of fabrics online, but you have to buy a minimum of $2 2 yards to get those. And I don't buy fabric in 2 yards unless I've got a really good reason. So, all right. You know what? I didn't come prepared for this. I told Mark to put this machine in, but I forgot I don't even have a presser foot. Okay, let me see. This is the joy of doing live stream. So, hold on 1 second, please. All right. Let me go grab something real quick. Mark? Can I have my clear bag of sewing attachments by my sewing machine? I don't have a presser foot. Oh, no, it doesn't have a broken needle. Thank you. Yeah, trying to be careful with these. They're sloppy. Thank you. Okay, here I am. Mark asked me, he said, "Is that machine ready to sew?" And I said, "Oh, I'm sure it is." No, it wasn't. Okay. Let me put my glasses on. Talk amongst yourselves. Here we go. Here's a presser foot, thank goodness. All right. I said, "Mark, can you go get me my attachment bag upstairs?" Thank goodness. He knows exactly what I mean, and okay. There we go. Okay, I apologize for not having this machine ready. He brought it downstairs for me today, and I thought, oh, I'd like to work on that one, but I didn't realize I didn't leave it ready to go. It's kind of something we take for granted, that these machines are always ready for us to sew. All right, here we go. So now let me get that and bobbin. It didn't even have a bobbin. My goodness, Deb. Okay. Come on. All right. Let me get this bobbin in real quick. And whoops. All right. I love these little scrunchy hair bands. They really do a good job of keeping the bobbin threads. You know, let me move that away a little. Okay. All right, here we go. I guarantee you next time I'm getting ready to do a show, I'm going to make sure the machine's set up. Okay, here we go. All right, so what you've got is you either draw a line diagonally. I know, you do it live and it's like, oh my goodness. So, okay. When Mark was a little thing, his mom was a seamstress, and she used to have him, like at 7 or 8, she used to have him mark the hem of her dress. And so she didn't have a daughter, so he kind of grew up learning this stuff. And so it's come in very handy to me. So I'm going to take, either you draw a line diagonally or I take and press it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to sew. Now in this one, it's not like the quarter square triangles where you sew on either side. This one, you're going to go right down the diagonal. And actually, this one's going to be folded this way. So do it just a little past, one thread past that diagonal line so that you've got room for the fabric to fold over. I'm going to see if turning off this light helps you see better. No. Why is my camera so dark? Frustrating. Okay. So here we go. Let me get my foot pedal. So just one thread beyond the direct diagonal. Like that. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is quickly press this over, and you do not cut away the underneath excess fabric yet. Okay, do not cut it away yet. I'll tell you why in just a moment. I have big hands, and trying to keep them out of the way here is tricky. All right, so here is the first half. Wow, it really is dark. Let me try to tilt the the camera down just a little. I don't know why. Oh. Oh, gee. Okay. Hold on. Mark was telling me when I go to move the microphone out of the way, it loosens the camera. So that's why sometimes I get this. Oops. Whoops. Okay. All right. So then I take this one, and so this one was going this way to the center. This one, the diagonal goes up towards the center. One thread. Now this is going to fold this thread further to this side, the side that we aren't going to need. Let me get my block lined up. So this is how, if you want to make a scrappy block today for this block number 3, this is how I would make it. And that way you can put whatever colors wherever you want if you're going to do it scrappy. So now let me iron this back. All right. So now here you go. Now here is the flying geese block. And what you're trying to look for is you want these fabrics. And this one, I might have done a little too far over because when I go to push it back, it hangs over. See that? So I'm just going to come in here, and if it were greatly off, I would redo it. But if it just needs a little trimming, then I'll even it up. Once I know it is a perfect rectangle, I'll come in here and cut the bottom 2 layers off, leaving about in between 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. Now, some people, if they're really got their act together, when they first sew the first line, they'll sew again 1/4 of an inch away from that. And what that does is that turns these into half square triangles that can be used in a scrappy project. So, all right. So there we are. There is, and someone let me know if you can still see me. I haven't seen any conversations. Someone just say if everything's good, let me know you can still see me. So anyway, oh yay. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. All right, so now while I've got this down here, let me see if I can tilt it down a little bit more. All right. I think this way you'll be able to see in the light better. I'm leaving that down there because I've got another fun thing for you. And when we're done with this, I will show you my block for this week. All right, remember how I got that new fabric and I was taking a mirror like this, a 2-piece mirror, and I would put it on the fabric and see what kind of designs it would make in here. Thank you, Marcia. And so what I would do is then I would make sure I had 6 pieces because I wanted 6-piece stack and whack or kaleidoscope, whatever you want to call it. And so y'all were so smart, knew that to get 6 pieces to make a circle, you have to have a 60-degree wedge. This is a 60-degree ruler, okay? Now, it gets wider depending on how big you want to make them. But the important part is this angle right here. That angle is 60 degrees. So what I did is I cut out 6 of the very same fabric, okay? I took that mirror and tried to find something that would make a good design. So that one I already made, and I thought I want to make one for you because there's a couple things that you have to remember when you want to do a stack and whack or kaleidoscope quilt. All right, and what I want you to remember, let me try not to touch anything to mess this up. Linda McCollum. Oh, got to write Linda's name down. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Linda. Okay. So good to see Linda. All right, got that name in. Hopefully I haven't missed anyone's name. Thank you, Polly, for telling me about yours. I would have felt ill about it. Here I starched 6 of these. Let me see if this will help. 6 of these exact places. See, what I did is, where is my little, okay. What I had was a little piece of template. Oh, well, that scared me. That was a balloon to hit the hot iron. It's a wild party here, let me tell you. Okay, so I had a piece of clear template, and I would lay it on the specific wedge of fabric that I wanted. And then I took a Sharpie marker and drew some marks like right here that would allow me to place it exactly the same several more times. So anyway, here are the pieces that I cut. And I knew I needed 6 of them. One thing I forgot to tell you last time is you have to add a little bit for a seam allowance. So when you go to cut these, just add a little touch more and you'll have a nice seam allowance. All right, then I starched them. So now I want to show you how you sew these together. And what you do is you kind of line up the best you can, try to line up the design so that when you sew a 1/4 of an inch and it comes back, it matches. Now, I tend to not sew a full 1/4 of an inch. So I just cut a little bit of a seam allowance, and then I do in between 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. So the first thing, anytime you're going to make a smaller seam allowance, the first thing you do is lower your stitch length. That is critical. Anytime that you are having anything less than a full 1/4 of an inch. I hope that this is going to match. We'll see. All right, so then I put it under my needle, and like I say, I'm going to do less than a 1/4 of an inch. So I've got my stitch length down to 1.6, and see, I'm not coming all the way over to the 1/4 foot mark. I come in like this, and this piece did not want to meet perfectly edge to edge, and I didn't want to distort it. I'm going to go back. It's really close to that edge in one place, so let me go back and do a second stitching line with those tiny stitches, because that'll help keep the fabric together once I open it. All right, so when in doubt, sew a second time. All right. Now I'm going to take and iron this open. Some people doing this will iron the seams flat. It's whatever you want to do. All right, then I come in here and put this here. I think I tried too much to match here because it's not matching here. So let me see. It might be where I added the seam allowance. So I'm not going to worry about it at this point. Just stitch right up. Okay. All right, let me press this open. Yeah, looks good. Okay. And if you end up sewing the wedges together, well, you know what? Hold on. This is not looking exactly the way I want it, so hold on one second. Let me grab my seam ripper. There is a design at the bottom, and I did it really good in these blocks. See that? But this one is off. So I'm going to take this out. And I was right then to line, because that design is so specific and it has to be right. All right. Let me just quickly. All right. All right, so I'm going to come back in and match this up. That has to be. All right, so now with it matched up better, let's try it again. All right, let me give this a little press. Much better. Much, much better. All right, so you see now, it was really important. This is my dominant design right here, and I need that to meet perfectly. So see this? I needed that to meet perfectly. I'm seeing light come through, so that means I don't quite have it stitched perfectly. Let me see. Isn't that funny? I held it up and I could see light. Ah, there it is. Right here, I didn't quite have it caught fully. All right. Okay, let me give it a press again. All right, any light coming through? That's a new thing. Hold your piece to the window, see if light comes through. All right, now, it'd be very tempting to say, okay, I've got these 3. I'll just keep going and adding wedges. Do not do it. Do not do it. The reason is because you'll end up with your last piece being a Y seam. And why do that to yourself? Because this way, I'll show you, is much easier. So this half of the circle is done. I put that aside. Then I come back and I start putting these pieces together. All right. And when it comes to the point, whoops, that sometimes can be a problem when you're trying. This is where you really need it, a leader or ender. Let me try to get my thread unhooked. What happens if that needle and thread goes down too many times without fabric under it? It'll tend to get tangled with itself. So let me pull out. I don't want to have to take the throat plate off, but I might have to. All righty. Well, one thing I always told you is that when you sew, stuff happens. And you're certainly getting to see that right now. Let me get my little screwdriver. This shorter screwdriver works so much better. Okay. I think I have the bobbin thread, something kind of wrapped around what it shouldn't be. All right. Lift the presser foot up. Get this throat plate out. All right. Now, if I wasn't on live right now, yeah, the thread got caught up in the cutter knife. I love the cutter, but it always adds one more layer of something that could go wrong. But if y'all weren't here, I would clean this out, because if I'm going to go to the trouble to take it off, might as well clean it. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'll come back and do it later, because I did see it had some dust in there. Okay. This machine is called a drop-in bobbin. And each one has pros and cons. It's just whatever works for you. Because you can have a drop-in bobbin and then, or a bobbin that's up this way, you push in that way. My long arm machine has a bobbin that you put in sideways. Okay, so now I got this. Just got to put my bobbin back in. I'm going to get a piece of fabric as a leader that will boop, 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 help bridge that gap. Put my bobbin in correctly, because we don't want to mess that up. Wait a minute. Let me try one thing really quickly. I think my bobbin's slightly out of place. So my bobbin case. So let me check that again. Okay. Now, I just thought of something. It would be really good to have a strong magnet near the machine so I can take those pieces Nope, bobbin case. Oh, okay. It was just barely turned. All right. There we go. I couldn't get the bobbin to go in good. Let me see something really quickly. Here. I thought I'd show you my favorite bobbin cleaning brush. And okay, here is the template. I found it on the floor. That's what showed me how to cut out this fabric, because luckily I had a few things there, just like that. So see how the marks line up to show me exactly how to cut this. So I did want to show you that. But I just want to show you, I love a brush, a bobbin brush with a long handle, and then I can just get in there. Always, I thought, what the heck, show them how to, they know this, but clean everything off really good. Clean out in here, because your tension, if your tension's off, your bobbin case or your bobbin is probably in a dirty place. So, but just get in here really good. And then don't forget, go up in here, get that dust out, and you'll see a pretty good amount of dust there. All right, so let me put this back together, put my bobbin case back in. Okay, whoops, gotta have it placed just right. All right, now we'll get going. And it feels good to have a clean machine. Never blow into your sewing machine. Never use canned air to blow. Don't blow it with your breath. Don't blow it with canned air. There have been sewing machines, you can probably find them on YouTube, that are so glommed full of lint that it's amazing that they even worked at all. So you can use a little computer vacuum tip to vacuum in. I have a little Shark vacuum upstairs that I use on my long arm, because that really generates lint when you have that needle moving so fast. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, so we got to see it be cleaned out. But never blow. It's so tempting to want to just blow that stuff out, especially if it's hard to reach it. But don't ever, ever do that. Okay, let me move this back a little. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Now I'm going to place this together again, and off we go. Whoops. And I forgot, oops. It's a good thing. I forgot to put the little leader under it, but also I got lucky because I hadn't fully threaded the machine again. All right. So put that down, bring needle up. Come on. Yep, let me bring it up just a touch more. If not, I will put it in by eye, but nope. Okay, here we go. Okay. So now I'm going to start this piece of fabric right there. Because what happens is the machine will drag the tip of the fabric right down into the hole, and then you end up with a mess. All right. Let me see. Okay. press this really fast. Okay, the main thing is right here, this predominant design. That's a good meeting point. So the rest of it doesn't quite match up as well, but this is you'll see when I put it all together. That's what I was going for. Okay. And just remember, don't try to sew too far over on that tip, on the point. And then come along here. All right. Some people are really good, and they've got two pieces of the scrap fabric, and they feed it in really easily. All right, so now here is the other half. Here is the other half, and I've done really well with these seams. So now what you're going to do is you're going to sew both of these halves together. So as usual, I want to match the center part. I don't care what happens out here. This is the most important part. Okay. So we get this matched up. Then come over here and get this matched up. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and just pin together the outside pieces because you don't want things to twist too much. All right. Now, one thing is, do you see how the center, this side's a little short? So I'm going to take a little bigger seam allowance right along there so that my pieces will match up better. Okay, so this, I'm going to go ahead and do a full 1/4 of an inch so that these shorter pieces will work their way in. Okay, but see, it's much easier to just sew a straight line than to try to do a Y seam. And if you ever have problems with a Y seam, consider stitching it by hand. And then when you know you've got it correctly in place, then you can go put it under the machine. Okay, let me give this a press. This is looking a little wonky, but that might have to be as good as I can do it right now. So whoops, let's see. All right. Mark's going to say, Deb, you stretched out. You turned the camera again, but I couldn't help it. All right. So let me get it. And what you can do too is when you press, if you need to pull it just a little bit to try to have the center match a little better. Okay. Now, if it is too wavy, Michelle the quilter came. I've got her name. If it's a little wavy on the outside, then all you have to do is take up a little bit more towards the outside. Like here, this block looks a little full. So all I have to do is come in and do a little bit wider of a seam allowance near the edge. Let me get this. Okay. And I think this other one was a little full too. So let's see now if this will lay flatter. But I'm telling you, the first time I tried to do a 6 or 8 piece circle, I made a ball cap. I mean, it was sad. All right, let's see now if that will lay flatter. And I can see it already, it does. So anywhere, if you notice it wants to crease, just come back and sew a slightly wider seam allowance. So now I have these two. And even though I wish this one would have met perfectly in the center, the thing is, by the time I get all of these in a quilt, the fabric. The fabric is Paula Nadelstern. Thank you for mentioning that. I got this as with my gift certificate. Someone gave me a gift for Christmas, and I got that. And now it was already a kaleidoscope fabric, and I thought, oh, I love these designs. So those are my first two, and I think I'm going to have at least 8, maybe 9 altogether. I have to decide now, what color fabric do I want to put these on? And then I can applique them down. But even though this didn't meet fully in the middle, you know what I could do? I could put a button or something there and cover that. But I love the way this looks. That is amazing. So, and then this one has a pink center. And this is the very same fabric, and I just cut it differently. So as I keep making these circles, I will show them to you. All right, there we go. So now let me get the camera back up. And we're getting just about time to do show and tell. And here is, whoops, don't let that balloon pop on the iron. Boy, I jumped a mile. Here is my nod to the 19th century. This is block number 3, the flying geese in a circle. And I love this. Okay, Lisa's here. Okay, I got Lisa's name in for the drawing. Anybody else? I got Michelle the quilter. I got Lisa. I got Ann Cochran. Okay, so now but anyway, you see what I mean about how do you want to sew it with the multiple background? I kind of wish I didn't have 3 light colors right here, but I think by the time I put it all with the blocks, wait till you see what Lisa did with her block. Oh, and Lisa, hon, I was supposed to tell you that I measured the templates in that pattern that I sent you, and the templates are too small. So I will send you another one when I get the size just right. Here is the landscape quilt we are working on for our Thursday night art quilt. So I'm going to keep working on it, and so far I'm really liking it. So thank you for your support with that. And I can't wait to see if any of you decide that you're going to do one. You had a pattern and already did the block. Good for you. For our next block, we're going to be using templates, because if we don't, you'd have to waste a lot of fabric. Oh, whoop.